All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back on Monday, and we have been itching over here at the Jesse on Fire production company to do a Diddy story because it feels like it was like, okay, Diddy's denied bail, and it's like, oh, this story's over. It's like, well, actually, not so much because there have been two major developments in the case. Well, so the first thing I'm going to show you is an insider talking about what they expect Diddy to get sentenced to. And it's very interesting because this is someone who would know, okay? Someone who's been through the same exact process, who had the same lawyer as Diddy, and he thinks Diddy's going to get slammed for 20 years. Now, when I tell you this is a person you should listen to, you will understand exactly why I'm talking. Well, it's Sammy the Bull. He went through this exact court. He had Diddy's exact lawyer, and he talks about what has happened between the judge and Diddy, etc. And it's like, it's when you hear him lay it out, you're like, oh yeah, he's going to get shipped for 20 years. That's the maximum. That's the maximum for what he got convicted of. And in that case, I actually don't think it's impossible he gets a pardon because it would be so outlandish. But you never know. Diddy said some pretty nasty things about the only person that can pardon him. You know what I mean? But we're going to go through that. And then there was a huge story about this story, about the civil lawsuits. Okay, that's why I had the civil lawsuits pulled up, because there's a massive development in this one right here, which is one of the key civil lawsuits that he's facing, $55 million, something like that. And so I'm like, how many civil lawsuits is he still facing? You know, because it's like, okay, yeah, he gets let out of jail. It's like, now what? It's like, well, I'm like, he's still facing 66 individual lawsuits. 66 individual lawsuits. If you've ever been sued, I've been sued once, okay? Like, if you've ever been sued, it feels overwhelming, you know? You're like, you look and you try to remember what your interaction was with that person, or like what the, you know, or whatever. I mean, I can't even wrap my brain around 66. I can't even wrap my brain around 66 lawsuits? It's insanity, you know? But we're going to go through a couple of the key ones, but we're definitely going to first start with that one because there have been, you know, some major developments in that case. And that's what we're going to do. So why don't you do everybody a favor, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you have not yet, we're going to handshake it. You subscribe, you click the bell so you get notified every time I upload. And why don't you go ahead and like this video as well. All right, so let's start right here. Okay, so Sammy the Bull, this is, if you don't know who this is, I'm sure you know who John Gotti is. This is the real John Gotti, not the, not the son that's still alive. The original John Gotti was the boss of the Gambino family, probably the most famous mobster certainly of the 80s and 90s and maybe ever. This is Sammy the Bull. He was his underboss. Almost as famous as John Gotti. I'm sure a lot of you guys know who he is, but he's going to talk right here. Now, he had the same attorney as Diddy, the one that left the case. Okay, so that's who he's talking about at the very beginning of his clip before he gets into the sentencing stuff.
Oh, for sure. I haven't talked to him about it. Haven't seen him in years. But he's a good friend, and I guess that's what happened with him on the Diddy case.
Well, the Diddy case went through the whole process. You know, he got locked up, no bail. By the way, were you surprised when he got no bail leading up to the actual trial?
No.
Why?
No, I don't. And I'll tell you what's going to happen. Whatever his sentence is, my opinion, the judge gave him no bail, knowing that he should have got bail at this point.
What? Okay, you mean after he got convicted?
Yeah.
Yeah.
After he got convicted of 2 shit counts.
Yeah.
And he did a year, he should at least get bail.
Yeah, I agree.
He didn't give it to him. Now, I think that's a sign when it comes time for sentencing, if he's facing two charges,
20 years total.
10
years
on each, he's going to get the 20.
You think he's going to get 20 years?
Yeah, the judge is
for prostitution.
The judge is going to slam him. If the judge didn't want to slam him, he would have gave him bail. If he thought it was light, he would have gave him bail.
100% agree. I mean, like, absolutely 100% agree. And I've been saying this from the beginning, where it's like, as much as it feels like the court system is some kind of impartial process that people enter into and they're like, okay, listen, this happened and thus it's whatever. Nah, dude. It is a formalized process, but humans are the ones making all of the decisions. And you have no idea what the decision criteria is for these people. You have absolutely no idea what's going on behind the scenes, or what the judge is thinking, or what he thinks of Diddy, or who is pulling his strings, or who pulls the strings in the New York justice system, period. Okay? Because this whole case makes no sense. Like the whole entire thing from top to bottom never made sense. It doesn't make sense now. It didn't make sense then. Okay? And I'm talking about the criminal case. Because here's the whole point. As we look at the 66 civil lawsuits that Diddy is facing, which is what we're about to do, how are none of those involved in this criminal case? That's how you know that something fishy is up. That's how you know. When I start reading you the details of these cases, you're like, that's not someone that you wanted to put on the stand and tie a criminal charge to that? Okay, every single part of the criminal trial that we just watched was hearsay, was someone telling a story. Yeah, I was there and Diddy did blah, blah, blah. Right? I mean, bottom line, you have one piece of real evidence, which was the video of him dragging Cassidy down the hallway. That's it. Every other thing was someone saying Diddy did blah, blah, blah to me. So once you take that into account, you look at the 66 civil lawsuits that are accusing him of egregious crimes, absolutely egregious crimes. Why were none of them in that civil trial or in the criminal trial? Okay, so you know that there is something going on as it relates to the prosecution from the jump, right? And then when the judge literally told Diddy he was going to get bail, I assumed Sean doesn't want to go back to MDC. And then all of a sudden, he's like, you cannot follow the law, sir, and thus I am not giving you bail. I need you to go back to your cell until October. And Diddy's sitting there counting the days till October, where what's going to happen is the judge is going to slam him. He might give him 15 years, but he's getting slammed. You bet your fucking life on that. Bet your life on that fact right there.
He should have given him bail. But being he didn't give him bail, this is just my opinion.
Yeah.
He's going to slam him with 10 and 10 and run it together. So that not run it together, run it separately.
Yeah.
So he gets 20
another.
years.
I mean, when I interviewed Judge Mathis, I don't know if you know who that is. He was a judge on TV. He's been on for 20-something years.
Yeah.
He said pretty much the same thing. He said that although what he was convicted for are relatively light charges, so much came out on the stand in terms of the beating of the women and the alleged blowing up of the car and
on
this abuse.
sentencing, the judge could take
The
that
judge is
all
thinking about
into
all this. Yeah.
yes.
This is what he said. I don't agree with this, by the way, but at the end of the day, there's so much that came out in the trial and so many things that although he beat them, it's all out there. Mathis thinks the judge will throw the book at him based on.
Here's the other thing too. Really important point is like at the end of the day, if a person gets fully acquitted, then they're done. If they get convicted of different charges, like now it's just up to the judge. And if the judge decides that the jury got it wrong, they will bury him. They'll bury him. Okay, think about the O.J. Simpson case in Las Vegas. Okay, O.J. Simpson beat a murder that everybody knows that he committed. Everybody knows he committed that, right? And so when you think about that, why do you think he got 34 years when he did the Las Vegas case, where he found out that someone was out hustling, all of his memorabilia? So he got his memorabilia taken because of a bankruptcy or something like that. I don't know, maybe because of the judgment with the Goldman stuff. I have no idea. But bottom line is someone came in and they seized a lot of his memorabilia, his Heisman Trophy and a bunch of other stuff. And he was in Vegas and found out that someone was selling that stuff. And he's like, I'm going to get that shit back. Like, that got stolen from me. So he made the idiotic decision to bring a gun or have a dude with a gun, and he got 34 years for that. And the female judge that slammed him, I can't remember exactly what the story was, but there was some way where she made absolutely clear that she was giving him that time because of the Nicole Brown Simpson verdict. I can't remember. It was something like to the effect. It was like the exact number had to do. I don't know, but she made it crystal clear why he was getting that time. You know what I mean?
On that. That sounds like a slap on the wrist.
Well, it won't be, because unfortunately, judges are people too, and he's going to try and compensate for the other things that they've seen, for the state crimes that he's seen. His mindset is going to be, I'm not letting him get away with the minimum. I'm giving him the maximum that'll compensate for the things I can't do. The things that he didn't, the things that the prosecutor didn't prove, but I think happened. The things that happened in state court, but the statute of limitations expired, so I can't prosecute him. So, he says 1 to 10 years, I think I'm gonna give him 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I'll give you a little something.
Mm-hmm.
I got convicted on 19 murders. I cooperated. I got 5 years on my first case with John Gotti. I got a 5-year sentence.
Okay, was that 5 years total, or was there a time served?
No, I still owed time on, even under 5 years. I had to do 50-something months.
Yep.
I only had 40 months in when I got sentenced, so I still had months to go. When I got pinched on the ecstasy, no violence. I never bought the drugs. I never sold the drugs. I lent money and I was involved. I got 20 fucking years. So when the judge takes into consideration what he wants to do,
Yeah.
and in my opinion, they're going to slam him. He's going to get 20.
And they put Sammy in supermax. They put him in fucking supermax. If you want to watch a mind-blowing video, if you really want to watch if you're really interested in this kind of thing and like the human experience and I don't know, like I like learning about people experiencing extreme events and like just bordering on like unfathomable circumstances that people live through. Go watch the video of Sammy Gravano. It's probably 4 or 5 years old, where he talked about what it was like doing time in supermax. I'm not sure. I could look it up, and it'll take forever. Actually, no, I'm just not going to. I'm going to tell you, if you want to find it, you can. You go to Sammy's channel and then look up like Sammy Gravano Supermax, and he describes what it's like to do time in supermax. I've never heard someone do a better job describing an experience that, like, how are you supposed to describe what it's like to be in a room by yourself for, 10 to 15, 20 years. I can't remember exactly how many years he did. But he explains it in a way where you're like, fuck, man. He's like, you get so lonely that you can't describe it to a person. He said that one time that, there are counselors that will come and talk to them. And he said one time he can't even explain why he did it, but like this woman who was the woman counselor did their time, and then they were going to leave, and he was so lonely, he just grabbed her wrist and he was like, don't go. Don't go. And she was like, Sammy, you need to let go of my wrist. You know what they're going to do. And he's like, it was involuntary. Like how lonely he was. He grabbed the woman and just held her because he's like, please don't leave me. It's crazy. It's a crazy story. You guys should definitely go listen to that. But anyway, we're going to move it along. We're going to move it right along right now. All right. So let's move over to the civil case, what happened. And then I'm going to go through some of these. Actually, you know what? Let me go through this first, dude, because this is just so wild. All right. So check this out. 66 lawsuits. Okay. The Rodney Jones one, everybody knows about that one. Okay, Jane Doe, let's just, literally, I have, like, every single one of these. This is what I'm saying. Where are these cases in the criminal trial? Okay, look at Jane Doe versus Sean Combs. What does the lawsuit say? Doe alleges she was gang raped and trafficked by Combs and former president of Bad Boy Records, Harv Pierre, when she was only 17 and in 11th grade. She alleges she met Pierre in a lounge in Detroit, and he told her he was best friends with Combs. Combs convinced her to accompany Pierre to a third assailant to a private jet, come to a studio, yada, yada, yada. She agreed. You guys know where this is going, okay? Okay. Where's that case? Like, where's that case? Okay, we already know the Cassandra one. Okay, Lisa Gardner. I don't even know what this is in, dude. Okay. She accuses Combs and Aaron Hall of forcing her to have against her will when she was only 16. Garner claims she met Combs at a hall. Okay, where's that one? Joy Dickerson versus Sean Combs. 22 Dickerson alleges she met Combs after he had appeared in a music video, yada, yada. Let's see. She accused of, guess what? Grape and video recording the grape, according to her complaint. Where is that case? Hey, guys, we're 3 cases in of 66 cases. Okay? 66 cases. And I just gave you 3 of them. All 3 of them are people willing to testify that Diddy and accomplices violently took it. Where were they, dude? Okay, none of this adds up. Okay, Grace versus Christian Combs. This is versus Sean Combs' son. Why is he not being prosecuted? Sued for grape, battery. Okay. It's unbelievable, dude. Here's the next one. Okay, so now we're our 5th one. McKinney says she met Combs when she was 22. Black leather coat, yada, yada, yada. Literally, I could just, here we go. And forced her to perform blah, 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 right? April Lampros. 22-page lawsuit. Let's see. I literally, honestly, watch this. You guys want to see something crazy? I'm just going to go like this. I'm going to do Command F, all right? So this is how you find things, right, in a case. Let's just see how many times these terms are. 34 times that word is in this article. How about 89 times that word right there is in this article, okay? So I think this probably gives everybody some context of like how many people are accusing Diddy of violent grape, right? None of them in the case. And that makes perfect sense. It's absurd, okay? But check this out. So, but he's winning, okay? He's winning these cases. All right, so check this out. Teflon Sean, lawsuit wins keep piling up. Now, the reason I wanted to show you guys this particular case is because when you look under the hood in some of them, they're idiotic. Like, this is the point, right? This is a stupid, frivolous lawsuit where this is a nothing burger, this one. But this is the one that they're talking about in the public. Why are we talking about this case? Like, why is this case one that we're talking about? I'll tell you what I'm talking about. Okay, remember this chick from Making the Band? Okay, this is Sarah Rivers from Making the Band. She was the one that was always, I was like, what is she doing there? You have like these ghetto ass people there, and then you have this chick where she's like, yeah, I'm married and I have children and I'm singing, and you're like, what is, like, how is she, what is going on, right? But listen to what she is suing him for, okay? Now, this got thrown out, right? Because, okay, so hang on. So it said, she claimed racketeering, assault, battery, forced labor, and sexual harassment and false imprisonment, okay? Those are big words that sound real scary, right? Okay, well, I just read to you in those other cases, they are directly saying that they were graped, like forced, right? Okay, well, that's straightforward. That's a witness you could put on the witness chair and just be like, so tell us about what Diddy did to you. He beat you up and then he forced it out of you? You know, tell your story, cry, talk about how you gave up in the middle of it because you realized they was going to physically overpower you. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you're trying to win this case. You're trying to win a criminal trial against Diddy, and you're just going to put these girls are all, yeah, I love having freak offs. I love having freak offs. Why would you put them up there when you have these other women that are like, you know, their stories would be horrific. If you're really trying to win the case, why would you not put a couple of them up there? It doesn't even make any sense. Okay, so she said, okay, so I'm sorry, let me read you exactly. Okay, the suit claimed, oh my God, no way. No way. I didn't even realize this. Her attorney is Ariel Mitchell. I had no idea. Do you know who this is? Do you know who Ariel Mitchell is? That's unbelievable. I had no idea that she was the attorney in this case. This is the woman who was representing that 400-pound chick who said that Conor McGregor took it from her in a bathroom or tried to take it from her in a bathroom. And then when people saw the videos, they're all, what? She's like 50 years old. She's just 50-year-old. I mean, 400, it's not 400 pounds, but she's big, dude. Like she's like a really big 50-year-old black woman. Clearly her and Conor were going to the bathroom to, all right, like there's no scenario where Conor was like, oh yeah, out of this whole club in Miami, this is the girl that I'm, you know, the guy, you think Conor has a hard time finding girls down to bang in Miami? No. And this was the woman. And then there were all these stories about her suing Snoop Dogg, John Legend, and all these other people. Like this is a con artist attorney, in my opinion, lady, in my opinion. Okay. So anyway, that's crazy. And then there were some other stories about her showing up to court, like smelling like weed I read about. Anyway, neither here nor there. I can't believe that that's her. Okay. So what they're suing for though, is that this was forced labor because she and the rest of the band had to walk several blocks to get Diddy a sweet treat as one of the numerous incidents of abuse. Did you guys watch that? See, I watched that season. That was like, it was a million years ago, but I watched it. Okay. And he's all, hey, yo, I'm shutting the studio down unless you guys go to 18th Street, get me some of that cheesecake. It was like so stupid. Dave Chappelle did an entire skit making fun of it. She also complained of being forced to sleep in an open bay with four other males, despite the fact that she's married at the time, and she said she felt threatened. and would be ousted if she didn't comply. Oh no. You went on Making the Band and then complained that you had to sleep with your other band members in the room. Get the fuck out of here. Okay? And then here, she alleged Diddy acted maliciously and recklessly with her career by publicly dismantling the group while pocketing money from the show. She claimed Diddy sexually harassed and assaulted her, claiming he once backed her into a corner and blocked her from moving while running his hand across her breasts. What? What? And she didn't have these boobs back then, as far as I understand. Okay. Like, this is a bullshit case. You're suing him because you voluntarily walked a long way to get cheesecake during a fucking reality show. Have you seen what people do on The Amazing Race? Okay. He told you that you can't be in the band if you don't do this. You did it. You could have walked away anytime. Oh, and he cornered you? All right. That's not nice. As his hand brushed across your breast? You didn't even say he grabbed him. That sounds accidental to me. This case is nonsense. But what about these others? What about the other 66? Let's see. So in this one, Mr. Combs and his guests performed sexual acts on them. President of the party, dozens of girls who appeared to be underage. Oh my God. All right, here, let's look up that one. Oh, this is the only one. Wow. All right. But they were performing acts on the kids, apparently. I mean, it's like, look at this. This one, Dahlia Graves, grape. This one, Jane Doe, grape. This one, grape. This one, grape. A lot of Jane Does, though, dude. A lot of Jane Doe. Okay. That's a lot of Jane Does in a row. I will at least acknowledge that, dude. Jane Doe, another Jane Doe. And another Jane Doe. What? And another Jane Doe. Okay, that's pretty wild. That's pretty wild. A lot of Jane Does. Anyway, that's enough for this video. I love you guys. Subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell. Bye-bye.